Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today it's not crazy wind like yesterday. It was more doable to come out here to this beautiful place once again. If you're new to the channel, there's a reason why you found this video. Stay a while and listen. It'll be worth it. Alright guys, so here's the thing. There's this chaos that has been around and present for a very, very long time now on this earth that we live in, this physical plane of existence, this realm. Just look at the history of the human race and all the things that have happened, the things that we are told. That doesn't mean that everything that we were told is factual. On the contrary, if you know, you know, right? But let's look at some of the constants. All the wars, all the tragedies, all the pain that comes with that, the suffering, the highs and the lows, all this division that has always existed by design. I've talked about this before. People fighting over different belief systems, going to wars because of things like that, all of that stuff, right? And right now it's not that much different than it was a few thousand years ago. Just look at the state of affairs and all that's happening at this very moment. Because there's this chaos, this energy that exists, that is what dominates everything right now. That includes governments, people in positions of power, people in control of a lot of things, people who make all these decisions that lead to these things that are happening, that are actually happening right now. But the issue with this chaos is that there's a natural order of things. And what happens with this natural order of things is that once you deviate from that specific way of living, way of being, whatever you want to call it, right? What happens is things become out of balance, out of alignment. And when it gets to the point where it is so unbalanced and so out of alignment, then these things happen. So the problem with that is that everything goes bad after that happens, basically. Because when we go against our own nature and we do not live our lives in alignment, not only with ourselves, but with the environment that we live in, the house that we were given, right? This earth that we live in, this planet, whatever you want to call this place. So everything turns into chaos when that happens. And there's a lot of people in this specific community that are gaslighting people 24/7 these days. You know, they're like, oh, we're shifting, we shifted 5D and this and that was split. There's no such thing, guys. We experience all of this here together. You don't create your own bubble where you're living in a separate world or a separate universe than everybody else, and everything is going to be honky-dory. That is called cognitive dissonance. You can deny the things that are happening all you want, but that's not going to change them from being there, happening as we speak. And also, now, here's the thing. I lost my train of thought there for a second, but here's the thing. You shouldn't focus on those things. That's one thing you can do. Don't give your energy to it. But denying them won't make them go away. And you can create your own la la land in your mind and in your own bubble space, whatever you want to call it. But these things that people have been talking about, the shift, this shift, it doesn't happen. Not in the way that some people think it does, and not in the way that some people are preaching it does. This happens when everybody's on the same page and everybody decides to get together to then actually, make real change happen, actualize things. And that only happens through responsibility. As long as the whole of humanity continues to not be responsible for their own actions and be like, it's not my problem, I'm not getting involved, these things will not change. They will continue to happen the way they happen. But the thing is, when chaos continues to rule like this, and like I said, it's been around for a long time, it hasn't changed in a very long time. When it tips the scales to a certain degree where it's completely out of balance and unaligned, then natural order will do its own thing. And it will restore things to their original state by force, if necessary. What do I mean by that? The universe has a specific set of laws and rules, constants, you could call it that it operates by, always at all times, and that'll never change. So when we don't do anything about it, thinking that things will fix themselves miraculously, like out of nowhere, which is something that doesn't happen. It never has and never will. When it gets to this unsustainable point, then this natural order will restore the balance by doing things that have to be a certain way or whatever. You know, these things could happen in many different ways. There could be, and this video is not to sound negative. It's not, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to really talk about these topics in a way to make people understand that all of these things that are happening right now, this all being part of our doing. Now, we're not the ones doing the things, right? But we are allowing these things to happen and to be done the way they are being done because we refuse to change ourselves so that we can all make a difference to some degree. Because most people just live their lives ignoring all of these things, thinking that it doesn't matter. And that's the beauty of free will. We are allowed to do that. Nobody's forced to do anything if they don't want to. But you have to keep in mind that when you don't do certain things, there will be consequences to that. When we refuse to acknowledge that we have a certain guilt factor involved here, right? When it comes down to these things. And this is why things are the way they are now. So I'm not going to be gaslighting anybody here saying that everything is going to be great and we're all going to shift and the 5D earth and the new earth and blah, 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 blah. This is all new age garbage talk. That's the reality that a lot of people don't want to face. People cope by thinking that way and joining, groups, movements like this and being like, oh yeah. No, that's not how change works. Change doesn't work by being passive about it. People have to actively do something. And it can be done in an absolutely peaceful manner too. That's the other thing. You don't need violence to change things at all. That's a misconception in and of itself. But the natural balance will restore the order. Because this is how the universe and these constants operate and abide by. And that will never change regardless of, circumstances and things like that. Now, if we actually changed ourselves and things that actually did change, then natural order wouldn't happen the way it does because it wouldn't see the need to do certain things. And I'm going to leave this at that. But the universe will do its thing regardless, and it will also restore the order of things if we don't do it ourselves. And when that happens that way, it's not going to be pretty or enjoyable to witness. That's all I'm saying. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Be safe, take care. Don't forget to click the like the like button, share, subscribe if you like the video. And I'll catch you on the next one, my friends. Take care, be safe.